Hello once again, audience. Instead of making a normal review, I'm going to be comparing two very similar games. New Super Mario Bros. Wii and Donkey Kong Country Returns. While they're not the most similar, they are both platformers, and I've been playing them at about the same time, so I feel like a comparison video would be better than two separate reviews, because kind of the way I've been judging them as I've been playing them is comparing them to each other. So I figured that's what I should do in my review. I have finished New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I have not finished Donkey Kong Country Returns yet. But I figure if I wait until I finish Donkey Kong, I might forget all the stuff about New Super Mario Bros. So Donkey Kong. Let's start with Donkey Kong. No. Actually, what I was going to do is go with different areas. Story, which neither games have a very immersive story. Donkey Kong's is a bit more original. His bananas get stolen by some tiki dude, but it's really not that much better. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is, Peach gets kidnapped, standard stuff. But the story's not important in a platform. Not really. So, next category. Level design. This is where Donkey Kong excels. And I'm gonna add, while I feel like Donkey Kong's a little bit less fun, like, something about New Super Mario Bros. Wii is just more fun. Maybe it's the higher difficulty of Donkey Kong, I don't know, because Donkey Kong is definitely harder. That's something I'll get to in a second. While New Super Mario Bros. Wii is more fun, Donkey Kong has a lot better level design. There are some really unique levels in that game that I have to applaud them. The level design's great, but the fun factor is not quite as large. I don't know. Oh, and multiplayer. I'll get into that in a second. Fun factor, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Just a second. Oh, hey, Josh. You're going outside? Yeah. Okay. Heard a door open. I was like, is that Mom? Who's that? So, back to the review. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I feel like it captures the spirit of fun more than Donkey Kong, despite it being easier. But, easy, hard is kind of confusing in these games, because in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, when you get a game over, you have to start from, every time you get to a boss castle, or halfway through the world boss castle, you get to save, like, permanently. And after that, if you get a game over, you go back to right after you beat that boss castle. And so the game over means more in that game than it does in Donkey Kong. It can be like a serious, oh no, ah! Just like, no! But in Donkey Kong, game overs just take you back to the beginning of the level, and all the Blanaba coins that you've earned, Blanaba coins will buy you lives, so they're super useful. All the Blanaba coins that you've earned go away, it feels a lot better, but as you get later into the game, because the Donkey Kong game is definitely harder. Like, just playing it a lot, like when I got addicted to it for a little while, it made me better at New Super Mario Bros. Wii, because it's that hard. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is easy in comparison. It's just more punishing when you get a game over. And, so later in the worlds, like once you start getting to World 6 and World 7, I'm on World 7 right now, the game over becomes a way more serious thing, because losing your progress on a level feels a lot more what you kind of have to do to ensure that you can get through the game easily and not have to struggle through levels is going back to old levels and getting a bunch of Blanaba coins so you can get lives, which gets tedious after a while, and that might be why I consider it less fun. But something about the levels are just less fun to play. Like, there are minecart and jetpack levels, which would be super awesome, but if you get hit on them, they're one-hit kills. So it doesn't matter how many hearts you've racked up. You can buy the banana potion, which is like Star in Mario, But instead of wearing off after a very short amount of time, it does in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, you can get hit 10 times and keep it for as long as you want, which is a way better system. I like that a lot better than the New Super Mario Bros. Star power-up, because that power-up lasts for what, like 30 seconds? Lame. But, and you could only employ it at the beginning of a level, so if the beginning of a level isn't the hard part, then foop. Oh well, you're screwed. But back to the topic. You can buy a heart on your life, like an extra heart, or a banana potion that'll make you be able to be hit 10 times, and still insta die when you hit stuff, which gets really painful in World 4, which has all vehicle levels, minecart, jetpack, all the levels are that, which is quite painful because like you have to just go out and buy a bunch of lives, and that world was where the game started getting really like insanely hard for me. After that, it just gets worse and worse and worse. But not worse like bad, just worse like hard as hell. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I always get mental lapses when I do reviews. Oh, right. Let's just jump to the multiplayer aspect, because whatever I was going to say before, it's not coming back. Multiplayer. In New Super Mario Bros. Wii, you can have up to 4 players. Donkey Kong can only have 2. So that right there kind of makes New Super Mario Bros. Wii better. New Super Mario Bros. Wii's 4-player multiplayer, though, is not very good. Like, if you try to run through the level, like, the characters are really bouncy. Like, you'll bounce off characters' heads and go super high, and it's ridiculous. So it's really chaotic when you play with 4 players. When you play with 2, though, it's not that bad. So really, they're both better with 2-player multiplayer than anything. But here's what makes New Super Mario Bros. Wii multiplayer better, for me. In Donkey Kong, you share lives. So if 2 people die and you have to start the level over, 2 lives gone. Boom. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, however, has you have separate sets of lives. And unless both players get game over on the same play, like session, before getting kicked out of the level for both dying, and when you die, you can come back. But in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, when one player gets a game over, the other player can just continue until they die, and then go back to the level menu, and then the player who got the game over can go back to 5 lives. So it's really hard to get like a game over, like go back to the castle. It's really hard to do that. You have to both get down to 0 lives, and which can be avoided by having the person who didn't get a game over turn into a bubble and float back to the menu. So if you play it right, it's kind of impossible to get a game over when 2 players. Donkey Kong, not the case. It actually makes it more likely to get a game over, depending on who you're playing with. Obviously, if you're playing with good people, it works, and probably to an extent is better, because in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, like I said, people can bounce off of each other and just screw each other up, basically. But, for me, anyway, because the only people I have to play with are my little brothers, who both suck at the games. Well, I mean, Joshua's not that bad. No, he's bad. But he's not as bad as Isaiah, who's even worse. And, yeah, it makes me wish I had an older brother. But, like, anyway, or, like, a sister that liked to play video games. But, anyway, the multiplayer in Donkey Kong is smoother to, like, control, but harder to survive. The only reason I really like the New Super Mario Bros. Wii multiplayer better is I basically use my brothers as cheats, so I never get game overs. I'll just have them stand on a ledge as I jump to another ledge that's, like, dangerous and filled with traps. And then once I'm in a safe spot, I'll have them turn into a bubble and float to me. So yeah, I'm really not using them. I'm just using them as things to keep me from having to exit the level every time I die. But in Donkey Kong, it actually encourages real multiplayer, which suppose is a good thing, actually. So when I think about it, the Donkey Kong one's better, but for me, the Mario one's better. Anywho, how many bases have I covered? Level design. I can't really say definitively which one is better because they both are different. They're different. If you want more of a challenge in your platformer, get Donkey Kong. It's the harder platformer. If you suck at platformers like me and you want a lighthearted, pretty easy one, get New Super Mario Bros. Wii. But be prepared to rage unless you have a partner to play with, because you will die a lot. But eventually you'll get better at the game. Because you'll get a lot of game overs. But if you have a partner to play with and you're not good at platformers, don't choose Donkey Kong. Choose New Super Mario Bros. Wii. If you have a partner to play with and you're good at platformers, I don't know. It's up to you. It depends on how good your friend is, or partner, or whatever. But, yeah, so the games are really... Depends on what you like, really. I mean, the level design in Donkey Kong's better. But I feel like the fun factor is more there in New Super... The same type of fun factor that re-emerged the video games with the original Mario Bros. Is there with New Super Mario Bros. Wii, too. Although, if you've played the DS version, it might seem a little redundant, but... No, there's enough changes between the Wii and the DS version. I've played the DS version too, that it'll still be interesting. If you like, and if you're an old school gamer if you played the original Donkey Kong Countries, you'll probably and like them better than the Mario games, you'll probably want to get Donkey Kong Country Returns. If you played the original Mario games and like them better than the Donkey Kong ones, you'll probably want to get Mario. So. Like I said, I really can't say which is better. They're both great games, but they're both great games that are different in a lot of aspects. So, that wraps up my comparison video. Arrivederci.